Tonight, from the end zone to the fan zone and all seats in between, this is your home for the local sporting update, featuring the voice of the Bradford High School Tornadoes. Welcome to On the Spot Sport News with your host, David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mitchell Gunner. Great to have you along. Byron Bagwell's not with us tonight as he is working, but hopefully he can make it later on to the show. If not, we'll catch him on Tuesday. Right. Tonight's show is brought to you by Miracle Automotive and Recovery in both Stark and McClenny. Call Kirk and Kenny Miracle at 904-368-1114. Miracle Automotive, where miracles happen every day. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. So I'm going to ask if Michael Heater will lead us in our prayer tonight. Michael?
I'd be honored to.
Yes, sir.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you once again to be able to gather together as a family, as a team, and as a group of patriotic Americans to be able to spend time together and also to bring glory to your name. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to reach out to our fans and our other compatriots as well as the community as a whole to keep them informed, educated, and entertained as best we can. We appreciate being able to live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, that is protected by the greatest armed forces in the world, the
Amen.
United States Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and Space Force. We appreciate and honor the men and women who sacrifice daily to protect our freedoms, our rights, and the ability to live in our great nation. We ask for your blessings over everyone who is tuning in. We ask for your blessings for everyone who participates in this show. Keep us safe as we move through the days ahead. Help keep a hedge of protection over everyone, those with spoken or unspoken prayer requests. We encourage, we invite them to reach out to you, Lord, because you are the healer. You are the comforter. You are the one who does all, creates all, and is all. We ask for your blessings over this show and that our efforts are not only to help embody the greatest nation in the world, but to help embody you, our Lord and Savior. We ask for all these things in Christ's name, and the congregation says,
Amen. Amen. All right. Let us stand for the pledge. I'm going to ask Mr. Mitchell Gunner, if he'd lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, right alongside Mr. Mitchell Gunner. You just heard him say the prayer. Our director and our weather guru, which you'll just hear in a few minutes, the Dragon Slayer himself, Michael Heater, and glad to have our producer back after an absence that he had to take care of. His brother passed away, and he had to go up there and take care of some business up there. Glad to have Mr. Dave Holland back. Yes, sir. Got our graphics back.
Thank you.
Yeah, got our graphics back and everything else. But glad to have him back in the saddle. Missing tonight is Mr. Byron Bagwell as he is working, doing his job. He's over in the Jacksonville area tonight. So please pray for Byron and put a hedge of protection over him and let him be safe as he does his job. We've got a great show coming up tonight,
yes,
Mitchell.
Do.
This is really our sports show, what we call our sports show, each and every other Friday night, at least until football season comes up. Speaking of football season, we've got the man, the myth and the legend himself, the head coach of those Bradford Tornadoes that we all love and proud of.
Right.
You're an ex-Tornado. Some of these guys are as well. We're going to have Coach Brian Thomason come on in a little bit, and he's going to talk a little Tornado football. We're going to talk a little bit about everything. He went to the Women's College World Series, too. Man, we talked a little bit before the show. He said he had fun. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we've got, who I believe is going to be the next young NASCAR driver. Happens to be your nephew.
That's right.
Happens to be your brother's son. And that is Brody Gunner. We've had him on the show before. What a guest he is. I tell you, Mitchell, this young man speaks well, knows well, smart kid, knows how to drive a race car. Maybe he can teach me a thing or two about that.
I bet he can, David.
I know he can. I don't bet. I know he can. So we're going to have him on. talk a little bit about what's going on with him and how he's progressed up into driving other cars.
And he can probably drive better than all of us in this room.
I'm not going to doubt that one bit. So anyway, we got the patriotic quote of the night, which is actually a sports quote. I'll test all you guys out. The only way to prove you are a good sport is to lose. Famous baseball player back in the day. Coach, I'll give you a shot at it. Baseball player back in the day. Pre-2000s.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. How about it, Brody? You can take a guess.
This is why I'm a race car driver.
That's why he's a race car driver. I like it. Dave, a guess. Michael, a guess.
Kurt Schilling.
A nice guess.
Read it one more time.
Okay, the only way to prove you are a good sport is to lose.
And it's back in the day.
Yep, baseball player.
Are we in the 60s?
Come in this, yeah, sort of in there, yeah.
It's got to be Cincinnati. They've lost a lot.
And it's a player, correct?
It is a player.
It is
I
a
like
player.
that, Dave. I really like that.
Player.
Let's go
Yeah.
for Mickey Mantle.
Nice guess. That would be the famous Ernie Banks.
Ernie Banks.
There you go. All right, how about this one? I know, Coach, you're going to know this one. It is not the size of a man, but the size of his heart that matters. He was a boxer. Been in some famous fights. He was a famous cruiserweight, moved up to the heavyweight division. Was in a famous fight that everybody always talks about. Coach?
Muhammad Ali.
Okay, good guess. Good guess. That's a good guess. Mike?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
I like that.
I'm going to say the same thing.
You're gonna go Muhammad Ali?
I'm going with Muhammad
Actually,
Ali.
that was Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
Evander Holyfield, and probably after he got his ear bit off.
Probably so.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. Hey guys, don't go anywhere because the Friday Night Quick and Dirty starts right now.
Here is your quick and dirty news update, sponsored by Harry Business Hairstyling, home of the $10 haircut, Deerfoot Village in Stark.
Here is a quick and dirty for this Friday night. We begin with the latest on in Gainesville with the mass shooting there last night just before 10:30 p.m. Multiple units responded to several calls of shots fired at the American Legion located at 4701 Northwest 6th Street. There was a juvenile teen party being held at the American Legion when two shooters exchanged gunfire, leading to the 5 victims being shot. The suspect stole a car and fled that scene. Deputies with the Alachua County Sheriff's Office located the stolen vehicle at the 9000 block of West Newberry Road and attempted to conduct a traffic stop, but the suspects fled and a pursuit was initiated. The vehicle pursuit ended at the Cabana Beach Apartments, where the suspects then fled on foot. Deputies were able to apprehend the driver, a 14-year-old now, ladies and gentlemen, Jacarian Ford. The passenger, the 17-year-old Javari Baptiste, fled into the complex, but was also taken into custody as well. Baptiste was charged with attempted murder by the Gainesville Police Department and possession of a stolen firearm and resisting without violence by the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. Ford was charged with fleeing and eluding law enforcement, operating a motor vehicle without a driver's license, and felony possession of marijuana. Interesting. The splash pad at Edwards Road Sports Complex in Stark will be closed until at least Monday after vandals damaged the property. Imagine that. Officials report an increase in vandalism all around the city parks recently. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the Stark Police Department. Pop Warner football and cheer signups in Union County are open. Details are available on their Union Pop Warner football Facebook page. More than 1,200 softball players are in Lake City for the biggest Babe Ruth tournament in the nation. The state championship is hosting more than 100 youth teams from across the state. All of the teams are competing for the chance to move on to the Babe Ruth Softball World Series in Jensen Beach next month. Good luck to all you ladies. Southeastern Grocers, parent company of Winn-Dixie Stores, is holding a ribbon cutting event on Wednesday, June 30th at 7:30 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. to celebrate the brand new Winn-Dixie store, formerly known as Harvey's.
That's right.
On State Road 21 between Melrose and Keystone Heights.
And I'll tell you what, David, it looks nice.
Does it?
They've redone the floors. They've got new cash registers. I mean, it is really nice.
I haven't been in there, really. I'm glad to hear that. So maybe we can go to that ceremony. During the ceremony, Winn-Dixie will present a $1,000 donation to the Lake Area Ministries Food Pantry to support their continued efforts to feed local families in need. There will also be a community celebration on Saturday, July the 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at that store. Also from the Keystone Heights area, Brooklyn Boys Pizza has reopened after being closed June 14th through the 22nd for a 50th birthday celebration. Wow, nice.
I bet you that was a good celebration.
I bet it was. 8 days worth.
Yes, it was.
Moving to South Florida, search and rescue teams worked through the night and all day today continue to sift through the rubble of the Champlain Towers south and Surfside north of Miami. The bodies of 3 more victims were found at the site earlier today, bringing the death toll to 4, while the number of people unaccounted for rose to 159. 120 people have been accounted for at this time. Rescue teams worked through the rain and wind, putting their life in danger, ladies and gentlemen, today, still searching for more survivors. Thoughts and prayers are with them, Michael, and everybody here. And now, here is your weather forecast.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
And good evening, everybody. Michael Heater sitting in for Austin Stevens with the on-the-spot weather forecast. Want to start you off with the pollen count. As you can see here, it's looking pretty good. Now, I know that we've had a lot of rain in the forecast, but if there's one positive this is that the fact that Mitchell, Byron, and David are all able to breathe, and the snoring isn't nearly as bad as it normally is.
Amen.
We're looking at pollen counts starting to be on the increase as we move through the weekend with a high of 4.5 on Sunday. That's because we are expecting a break in the rain. The main allergen we're dealing with, grasses. Luckily, the oak and the pine has fallen off because of a lot of the rainfall, and we're moving out of that season. We will see those numbers drop off as we move to the first part of next week, again, due to more rain in the forecast. More rain, you say? Absolutely. Let me tell you about it. You can see we've had flood warnings across that section of from Stark moving up towards New River area. That was the area under a flood warning earlier this afternoon. We got 1 inch of rain here at the Emergency Operations Center, but across the county we've had between 6 and 9 inches of rain in Bradford County since June 1st. Areas of Alachua County, 10.5 inches of rain. Areas of Jacksonville pushing 8.5 to 9. Columbia County, you guys have been under the gun as well. So it's been a very wet, soggy pattern that we've been dealing with. We are getting a little bit of a break, and I'll show you what we're talking about. Taking a look at the local forecast, you'll see that we have some more afternoon storms moving in tomorrow with temperatures in the usual range of the upper 80s. Sunday, a bit of a respite. Rains come to an end that morning. Look for partly cloudy skies. Should be a nice afternoon as we move through Sunday, but unfortunately, that pattern returns on Monday. Afternoon storms will be kicking off once again Monday afternoon. The good news is no temperatures in the 90s. Will be humid, but at least it'll be somewhat comfortable with temperatures in the 80s. Your lows in the lower 70s. That is the latest from Austin's Weather Service. David, I'm throwing it back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Michael Heater. I tell you what, that was a great weather report. And I tell you, here we go. With that pollen count being down, thank goodness for me and you. We've always had allergy problems, so has Byron. I don't know if Michael gets it as bad or Dave. I really haven't heard him too much, but I'm sure it bothers them as well. And this rain, that's what's bothering me right now. I've got 3 guys in here that need some yards cut. I can't cut no yards because everything is saturated.
Right. Well, the one thing I worry about with all this rain, I mean, I enjoy the rain, but I look at a potential hurricane coming through here with the ground already saturated and how that's going to affect the trees and stuff are falling, making more work for our emergency management team that Michael's part of.
Can you elaborate on that?
I would be happy to. We've been dealing with a lot of flooding conditions. As a matter of fact, there were 3 areas today that we were dealing with roads underwater. State Road 16 headed out towards the prison right there near 201st Way. Underwater, reports of 4 to 6 inches of rainfall over the waterway. We also had rain on Crawford Road near 44th Avenue, and the areas of 225 and 229 also underwater. Fortunately, we had an immediate response by Bradford County Public Works and by law enforcement to slow down the traffic, and we were working with our partners, the DBI, which are the construction company that's been taking care of the state roads. Instant access, we were able to get barricades up and slow people down with signage and everything like that one. Mitchell's absolutely right, though. We are starting to get into the hurricane season. There is one potential developing area way out in the far Atlantic. Don't see that coming into play with us in the near future, and it's going to hit some hostile conditions before it makes its way into the Caribbean Sea. We'll have to wait and see what happens. The good news is, at least with the current rainfall and the soggy conditions, no tropical development expected for at least the next 11 to 14 days.
Right.
Nice.
And another positive, no drought.
There you go. And now here's your favorite segment that brings back a little history. Brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Bellis, my bosses on Friday nights with Tornado Football. Speaking of Tornado Football, here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to have Coach Brian Tomlinson on with us, talk a little Tornado Football and some other things. And our other media partner, the Bradford County Telegraph, John Miller, John Ryan Tillman, Mark Crawford, and of course, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. All right, these are the sports headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the last week of June in what year? State announces new baseball softball classification, district assignments. 3 Union County High School softball players earn all-state honors, and 3 earn Gainesville Sun Athlete, Scholar Athlete, and Honorable Mention. Was that June of 2015, June of 2017, or June of 2019? State announces new baseball, softball classification, district assignments. 3 Union County High School softball players earn all-state honors, and 3 earn Gainesville Sun Athlete, Scholar Athlete, Honorable Mention. Was that June of 2015, June of 2017, or June of 2019? Let us read off some things. I'll read the first one, Mitchell. You read the second one. I'll read the third one. New classification and district assignments for baseball and softball were released by the Florida High School Athletic Association. Bradford and Keystone were in District 5 in Class 5A, but then and now they're in District 3 in Class 3A.
2 Union County High School softball players earned first-team honors, while another earned second-team honors with the release of Miracle Sports All-State Teams.
And 3 student athletes from Keystone Heights and Union County High Schools received honorable mention in regard to the Gainesville Suns Athlete of the Year and Scholar Athlete of the Year awards. State announces new baseball, softball classification, district assignments. 3 Union County High School softball players earn all-state honors, and 3 earn Gainesville Sun Athlete, Scholar Athlete, Honorable Mention. Was that June of 2015, June of 2017, or June of 2019? Remember, this is the, Mike, we got one more show, and then we're going to draw again.
One more show, that's right, and then we'll be drawing in the first show in July.
Yep.
I can tell you that, and no offense intended, nothing bad, but Roy, you got 2 of them in a row. We're not going to count you unless you get lucky. So I'm just saying.
Could he win 3 in a row? He is in.
He is in.
He is in.
He's answered 2 so far that I know of. So yes, it's very possible that we could very well see a third in a row. But we've had a decent number of people that have tuned in and made choices. So we are going to see what happens in the next 2 shows.
All right, and this is where you have fun, ladies and gentlemen. You may not know the answer right away, but hey, a guess is a good guess. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But either way, you have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill. Owners, Chrissy and Ricky Thompson. Thank them for letting us be able to put up that award. And I tell you, we've had some multiple winners. We've had a winner. We just said Roy Jackson 2 in a row. But this is where you, of course, at home can play. Coach, I'm going to start with you. Give me a guess. 15, 17, or 19?
17.
Brody?
15.
15. All right. Dave?
19.
19. Mike?
I hate to go against the coach because he knows everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go there.
He knows everything.
But Dave Holland seemed pretty sure.
Yeah, he batted it out. But so did Brody.
I only went with it because I'm turning 15 this year.
You will. Okay. Well, that makes okay.
I'll go. I'm gonna go 19.
There you
You're
go.
going to go 19.
I'm actually going 2017 as well.
You're going 17? Okay, I can't right now, but because I know the answer. So
Right.
this is the time,
Well, are
ladies.
you right?
Well, I can't tell you yet. So anyway, this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, where you can get your guesses in. Because again, like Michael said, we got tonight's show, we got Tuesday's show, and then we're going to be drawing on that July show. So make sure you get it in. Let me see who we got on right now. We got Jeff Riggins on. I work with Jeff over in Lake City at New Millennium. What's up, Jeff? Dottie Hanson's on. Roy Jackson's on. Raymond No. Byron Bagwell is on. Good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and
Miss.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go. Lisa Joan Hicks is on.
that's not my thing.
There you go. Lorenzo Jones, my boss man over at New Millennium, is on. Hello, Lorenzo. Todd Jordan's on. David Theus is on. Sonia Hodges Stack is on. Tanya Henley's on. Barbara Zipper is on. You know Barbara.
I do.
Yeah, Barbara's a nice lady. I like Charles and Barbara. Katie, I actually did their daughter's wedding. Did you know that? I DJ'd their daughter's wedding. Yep, sure did. Love them. Shirley Bagwell's on. Speaking of Shirley Bagwell, you want to hold that up, Mitchell?
Sure.
So last Tuesday night, Miss Bagwell made a cake and brought it into us. Didn't turn out exactly like she wanted it to,
Right.
but it was delicious. It never
it
made
was.
it out of this room, did it?
No, it did not.
We didn't have a crumb left, David. 4 guys finished off a cake that size. This is the rendition of that cake, and that is a blueberry crumb cake.
Right.
Blueberry crumb cake. And I'm going to tell you what, it's delicious. Coach, you're going to have a piece before you get out of here.
I believe so.
Brody, you're going to have a piece before you get out of here.
If you say so.
Okay, if I say so, I'm twisting his arm. You see? Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Miss Bagwell. Always hooking us up. Sorry Byron couldn't be here tonight. She's a good lady and always hooking us up, that's for sure. Good evening to you. Randy Brooks is on. Gail Allen's on. David Versace from Van Cleve, Mississippi is on. One of my classmates back from the day. I won't tell you what date that was. Tammy Testone is on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ready, Mike? Hello, Alvy. All right. Will y'all be at the festival tomorrow? Unfortunately, we will not. Tammy, I'm sorry. Mike, you got to work, right?
I got to work dispatch this weekend, so I will
Yeah.
not be there. Yeah.
You won't be there because you got a race possibly, right?
Well, I'm hoping we
You're
get
hoping.
the race.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
And we'll talk about that. And I've got to work tomorrow. It's a 6-day work week for us at my regular job. Unfortunately, Tammy, we will not. But we do have some events coming up that we will be at, and we'll get there to you. Uh-oh. Shirley says there's a big tree down in her backyard. We were just speaking about that.
Yeah.
I'll be daggone.
You'll see a lot of that, unfortunately, with the ground being soggy the way that it is. A lot of trees will come down. Anytime that we get any stormy conditions
Yeah.
and the wind blows, you can expect trees to fall.
Usually about anything around 40 miles an hour gusts and above, correct?
Yeah, it depends on the type of tree. I will tell you that you can have a wind gust as low as 12 to 15 miles per hour.
Really?
But if the ground is saturated and that tree starts to go, it doesn't take much wind for it to drop.
Wow. Well, I know what Byron's going to be doing over there.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of work over there. Raymond No said, is that one of Miss Shirley's delicious cakes sitting on that table? Yes, it is. Here you go, Mike. Hold it up. I don't. Whatever you got to do there. There you go. You got it?
Got it.
Got it. Yep, that sure is. Absolutely.
I'm afraid
Get
to
it close
touch
to,
it.
Yeah, get a close up there.
get
Yeah,
it
give him a
close
close
to the
up.
camera so they can smell
It. Yeah. Robert McGee is on. Good evening, sir.
Oh man, that
All right.
smells good.
Roy Jackson says 2015. Oh, it does smell good. Roy Jackson says 2015. Mike. Tammy Testone, 2015. Noah Gibson, 2015. Ricky Autistic is on. Him and his mom, Pepper Autistic. They have their own wrestling organization.
That's right.
LCCW. They wrestle out of Bushnell down there. And you can go down there. I think their next show is right around July the 4th, somewhere that Saturday right there. You can go down there and watch some wrestling down there. They put on a good product, and you can catch them on the LCCW Facebook page.
I think you need to get in there.
I've already did my time on that. We'll have to. Yeah.
You're still young.
Yeah,
Back
sure
in.
I am. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have Coach Tomlinson not only coach, but call the football games at the same time. Randy Brooks, 17. Shirley Bagwell, 17. McGee, 15. No, 17. David Versace, 2025. What? Did I even say that?
It must be 2015.
Yeah, he been 2015. I'm like, 2025. I think, okay. Yeah, he changed his mind. He said, yeah, 2015. Robert McGee said, Coach, he said, tell Coach I just licked that plate. That's how close it was. Noah Gibson smiling, and of course, Byron is on. All right, I hope that's all the guesses here. Want to get to our guests quickly tonight. We have two. Head coach of the Bradford Tornadoes, head football coach Brian Tomlinson will be on. Talk a little bit about that. And of course, the next, I think, NASCAR guy, the youngest NASCAR guy that's going to be on the circuit, Brody Gunner, your nephew.
We sure hope so.
Absolutely. All right. Byron says 2017. Byron, you're not eligible to win, but okay. That's okay. All right. Man, I think that's it, brother.
Right.
So, everybody's got their guesses in. Right. Drum roll, please. Oh, I see Sticks.
Yes.
Yeah. Drum roll, please. What do we have, Michael, for that answer? Well, wait a minute. I didn't see it. Because June of 2019.
Wow.
Look at that. My goodness. Everybody's laughing at us.
Did anybody get it right?
Yes, we had a couple. Yep. Dave did.
I guess that.
Let me see.
Right
Going
off
back.
my head.
None of our viewers, I don't think, nope.
No winner.
No winners.
Wow.
Dave Holland. He may have to just stick a name in there for somebody.
Yeah.
David Versace said that was his eyesight failing him, by the way.
Yeah.
2025. And
Yeah.
yep. Noah Gibson said it's time for all you guys to eat crow. All right. Or cake. Yeah, or cake, by the way, which Coach Tomlinson probably going to get the first piece because he is the first guy that's going to be coming up. Thank you all for joining us this Friday night. And we'll be right back with our first special guest right after this quick commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
The phone line is now open, ladies and gentlemen, 904-458-7588. If the line is busy, you can leave a message or send us a text, and we'll read your message on air. You can also try to call back if you wish, and we'll try to get to you as soon as we can. You can send us a message over our comments column. You can send it to our email address. You can send it on private message. Whatever you need to do to get a hold of us. The easiest way right now is 904-458-7588. All right, Mitchell, let's get down to business. Right here to my left, he is the handsome guy himself right here, the head coach of the Bradford High Football Tornadoes. And we know them as the Bradford Tornadoes.
Right. And they're also going to be state champions this coming year.
Wait a minute now.
Well,
I'm sitting next to Coach. You just went out and said that. You got head coach.
We just want to play a game.
Yeah. And Coach Brian Thomason. Coach, say hello to everybody.
How's it going, everybody?
All right. Glad to have you in with us, Coach. Thank you for taking out time out of your busy schedule. I know you got a lot of things still going on in summertime with conditioning and things like that, and still trying to, get football players ready, get football players in, and scheduling. I know we got the schedule here. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But for some guys, and I know I always ask you this, for some people that may not know you, just a little bit of history about yourself and who you are.
Brian Tomlinson, born and raised across the river. You said it earlier, by the way. I didn't say.
Oh, do I owe you some push-ups?
Well, you were reading.
Okay. Okay. So am I forgiven this time?
You're forgiven this time.
Okay.
But my parents, born and raised in Bradford County, so I like to believe I'm just back home.
Right.
Finished up coaching my 21st year, and man, I tell you, it's just been a blast.
It has, hasn't it?
It has.
You have a pass from both the down the road there. Can I just put it that way? Down the road.
We can say it tonight.
Can we say it tonight? Okay. So Union County, and of course you have history here as well. You were part of, was it the 2012 baseball state championship?
Yes. 2012. We were the 1A state champions in baseball. We're very blessed to be able to have a great run with a great group of kids. I should say young men now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was a blast having that opportunity to be involved with that.
Good. Again, Coach Brian Tomlinson on with us here, head coach of the Bradford Tornadoes. Coach, this is the 4th or 5th year you'll be with us now.
This will be the 5th year.
5th year, isn't that great?
Year.
Yeah,
Wow.
And it's going on our 6th year doing the radio, me and Kevin. And I've got to enjoy all the times with Coach. One of the most personable guys you'd ever want to meet. Go up there and talk to him about anything. His door's always wide open, so if you ever need to ask him a question, he's always right there to answer the phone. I think every time I sent you an email, it's like I'm almost typing it, there's the answer back. And I'm like, geez, so he picks up the phone real quick. Now, I know you probably couldn't have done that a couple of weeks ago because you was somewhere very special, which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. I know last year was a great season for us. There was some times during that season, Coach, didn't look so good. And, man, all of a sudden, it seems like every season something clicks. And here we go. We make another run into the playoffs like we had the last several years.
Yes.
What do you attribute that to, Coach?
I would think just honestly getting comfortable with each other, the players. You have turnover at positions every year, obviously. Right. This past year especially, we were very young. We lost a lot of seniors from the 2019 team, and just for most of them, and then when I say most, a lot of freshmen playing, adjusting to the speed of the game, because no matter how much they want to try to act like it didn't get faster, the game's a lot faster when you step up and turn on the lights on Friday night. So, I think for last year, I think it was just gaining the experience of being on the stage Friday nights and being able to play.
Right. You got a question for the coach, or Mitchell?
Yeah, I can probably see them having a little bit of jitters and stuff the first few games and stuff. And of course, if you got jitters, mistakes are going to be made. You're going to have a couple of blown coverages here and there. And I tell you, they did tighten it up as the season went on. You've seen less and less mental mistakes being made on the field.
Mm-hmm. A lot of less penalties, a lot of, like you said, a lot of less of everything. And we made a nice little playoff run there as we had since 2016, I believe. Right. Yeah, so 2015 was the last non-playoff season that I can remember, Coach. Am I sort of right about that? Because I think
so. Yes, I believe 2016 was district championship year.
Yes.
Yeah. 2017 is when
the regional,
when we came in and we won the regional championship.
Right.
Lost in the state semifinals to a very good team.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not sure they would have lost against some college teams. We've made the playoffs every year. We've been fortunate to, out of the 4 years, win at least one playoff game in 3 of the 4 years.
Isn't that great?
We're definitely turning the corner, I believe, and we're expecting big things this year.
I know that we've been playing in Class 4A since you've been here. We were playing in Class 4A there for a while. Yes. Now this year, with a movement here, we're going down to Class 1A. Can you tell the viewing audience and us here what prompted that move, and also, you know how competition was in 4A. Do you see that being in 1A as well?
Well, to answer your first question, the decline in student enrollment
Right.
You know, it has been a steady decline for about 10 years now.
Right.
From everything I've seen, and this past year it really dropped down for various reasons. And because we are classified as a rural community by the state of Florida, we are able to drop down into 1A because our student enrollment dropped below 600. You know, but as far as the competition goes, I can honestly see competition probably being tougher.
I'm glad you said that, Coach. Why would you say that?
A lot of people have the misconception that 1A means weak football.
Yes.
No, definitely not. There are some very, very good teams in this state of Florida in Class 1A.
Yeah.
You know, they can think. A lot of people think small school, but I can tell you, the smaller schools, they're tough. They're very, very tough. I could probably spend all day naming names, but just giving respect where respect's due. When you have Hawthorne, Union County, Madison County, you have all those schools that are in 1A, and they're very consistent football programs.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if the talent decreases or increases.
Yep.
They're very well coached, and they're established programs.
There we go. You got some music coming on for you there, Coach.
All right.
So I got you. All right, Michael, do you have a question for the coach?
Well, yeah, actually, I do.
Okay.
I was curious with a combination of course, the changing in the classifications, but as everyone knows, we lost some pretty significant talent this past year. That being said, I know the depth chart is something that you've been working on like that one. Where would you rate the incoming team based on last year's performance and staff, and where you think we are going in the next 3-year cycle? So I'm talking like the freshmen and sophomores. Have they shown you anything that shows us that we are continuing to climb up here, and that we will see a repeat of the level of performance that we saw in last season's performers?
I believe yes. What we've seen so far as a staff is a group of young men that want to work. They come in every day. You'd be surprised at how many of them. Well, we work out from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9:30. And when we dismiss them and tell them that they can leave, there's still some on the field doing work on their own. So, I believe the sophomores, the freshmen from last year, we had so many play, so many get experience that we're able to, build off of what they've accomplished.
Very cool.
No, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
4A to 1A, in the 5 years you've been here on that 1A, are you going to be playing any teams that you haven't played against?
We do have a couple teams that we haven't played due to the fact that just like in 4A, we have the ability to schedule all 10 games. If we're not in a district, we don't have to play region opponents. So we had to make our own schedule. So we do have some return trips, for people that played. We played away last year, such as Swanee and Madison, that will come to us this year. We also picked up a couple of teams, one being Yulee, that I don't know the last time we played them. And we're playing a team that I know we've never played in American Collegiate. So we are able to play some teams, but one thing about it is that we're still playing as one of the coaches told me the other day, we're still playing a 4 and 5A schedule, and
okay.
And I study a lot. My wife will tell you that I'm a
Yes.
nerd.
I don't know about that.
I study a lot, and I just study what these successful coaches are doing, and they play tougher teams. So when they get to the playoffs, they're tested and ready.
Right. Yes. Coach, and speaking of that, and backing up Michael's deal, by the way, Coach Brian Thomason, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, head football coach of the Bradford Tornadoes. Noah Dante Balfour, we know he's at the University of North Carolina. Yeah. Man, wish nothing but the best for him. Man, the way he's up there, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get a little playing time this year, Coach.
Well, I tell you,
unless they redshirt him, I don't know, but
he's a great kid, and heck, he's gonna be TikTok famous for too long.
Yeah, he is. If he already is at the same, yes, he is. Right. No Eric Smith, no Pedro Carter, Sterling Roberts, and I left off one. Who's and the big man
Trey.
And Trey. They are all going to good schools.
Yes.
And I wish them nothing but success. And I think we're going to be hearing their names here in the next year or two within the collegiate ranks. Right. I know we had a great freshman and sophomore class. Got some playing time. Our quarterback Dejon Shanks get a little bit more of experience. Can you tell me, do we add any new players to this squad? And if so, is it some of the positions that I've named that we lost some of these key players from?
Well, my thoughts are this: can you really replace those 5 guys? I mean, those guys poured their blood, sweat, and tears into the program and handled themselves, in class manner. Mm-hmm. We have some young guys that can step up and fill the role. It may take, in some cases, 2, 3 guys to fill some of their roles. Right. But we have the guys that we have. We play in the spring with. We're ready to go. So they've been working hard. There are going to be a couple of new faces, but for the most part, we have what we have.
I got a question. I hear a rumor that we may actually have a great field goal kicker.
I was going to answer that. Everybody said, ask the coach that.
Something that, we struggle with, and I tell you what, we struggled with it quite a bit. Even when I was in high school, we actually had Quentin Brown. I don't know if you know Quentin Brown.
I do.
But Quentin Brown, he actually kicked the field goal for us, and he was one of the he played offensive lineman and defensive lineman, and he actually went on to college and played football. And I tell you what, for a big guy, that guy could boot the ball. We'll be out there for warm-ups, and he'll be kicking 60-yard field goals.
Yeah, Coach, somebody told me to ask you about this. Mitchell just happened to bring it up, but everybody says, I think we got us a kicker.
Well, he's not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
And he was here in the spring. He kicked. We're going to settle with 3.5 extra points, and to explain the half, the referee said it was no good. He swears it was good, so I figured we'll land in the middle.
Well, I tell you what, we seen of it was good because me and Kevin couldn't see anything that didn't say it wasn't good. So let's give him 3.5.
Yeah, that's why I say 3.5.
All right.
He's a good young man. He's young. Yeah. He's going to be a junior. And he's got a strong leg. He works hard. He's at workouts every morning with the rest of them. When some of the others are going out on the field to run, he's kicking. So he's doing a lot of stuff on his own as well.
Good deal. So is he going to handle the kickoff duties and pretty much all of it?
Yes, he won't handle punting. Okay. But yes, all the other kicking will be his.
All right, I've got to ask you something, Coach. I've never seen this, and I know it was a spring game, but good grief. 2 100-yard interceptions for touchdowns that got called back, but I've never seen 2 100-yard interception returns in a game, period. I don't think.
No, the only one I'd ever seen was last year with Adante. But
right, yeah.
Yes, but that just shows the young talent.
Yes.
That I had to get on to one of them because I hadn't seen him run that fast before. So I figured he's been holding back.
He's been holding back on that price.
So, but no, those guys. Our defensive coaches are amazing, and they get the guys prepared and into position. You rarely see them. I don't want to say make a mistake because high school kids are going to make mistakes.
Right.
NFL players make mistakes.
Absolutely.
But they're rarely out of position.
Right.
And just to see it happen, the interceptions didn't surprise me. Maybe
The distance
may have, but
Right.
That's just what those guys are capable of doing.
It looks like, from that game, they're actually doing a great job of looking in the backfield and paying attention to what's going on at the same time, making sure they're, keeping their coverage close by.
I know Coach Shanks will probably disagree a little bit. He doesn't want them looking in the backfield,
Right.
But they are reading their keys
Right.
and they're getting much better at doing that.
Does your linebackers give them any feedback if they see something? Do they holler out, pass to the right, pass to the left?
There is constant communication, and they have. Listen, I don't know what they're saying to them, but I know there's constant communication. They have their own way of communicating it.
Right, to let them know what's
going on.
Want to talk a little bit Willie Pollard.
Willie Pollard
Really impressed me and Kevin last year, where just like we were with Eric and all our great running backs that we've had here, I think Willie Pollard's the next guy that's probably going to be in line. I know you got some great running backs back there as well,
Yes.
right along with him. Is Willie Pollard going to be the featured back? And is he as fast as I really see that he is?
He is very quick, very fast, very shifty. He's probably an even better young man.
Yes.
Love the kid to death. Which we have really great kids.
Right.
I'm not even going to attempt to name them. So
Right.
because there's so many. But I can't answer that question truthfully right now because
Right.
we have some things we're working on.
Right.
A little bit of tweaks that we're making to the offense, but he's going to definitely be involved quite a bit.
Good.
And I tell you what I like about him. It doesn't matter what's going on, how many guys are on him. His legs are always moving
Always.
and pushing forward.
Yes.
And he doesn't really go too much side to side. Not
No.
a whole lot. He's more
For a
and that's
smaller back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good about going
North and
and south. You know?
Yes, he has some very good vision, and we have some other guys that they're going to complement what he does, and he's going to complement what they do, and just they're good all around football players.
Right. Coach, I know that phone lines are open, by the way, 904-458-7588 while we got a few more minutes with the coach. Can you, just really quick, and I know, can you name your coaching staff? A lot of people sometimes don't know who the defensive coordinator,
Yes.
I know we'll probably have to leave off anybody, who the offensive coordinator is, who the receivers coach is, but can we name them?
All right, so the defensive coordinators, I have co-defensive coordinators, Wendell Shanks and Adrian Ping Mosley.
Adrian Ping, yeah.
So those two guys have been phenomenal.
Well, yeah.
Caleb Dukes is the co-offensive coordinator.
Right.
I run all the offense,
Right.
but he does a lot to help. And so, gave him the co-offensive coordinator title. But those guys have been there every step of the way.
Right.
So, running backs coach would be Adrian Tucker. This year we will quarterbacks coach is also James Bat McNeil.
Yep.
This year we have a wide receivers coach in Kenny Dinkins.
Okay,
He's,
Kenny, I remember Kenny.
former
Nice,
Tornado,
great player. Yes, sir.
absolutely.
Great player.
Absolutely, and is already paying off tremendously.
Wow.
I mean, he's already teaching these guys things that we can tell him, but he can still do it.
Right.
Right. I can't
Still-
do what he does.
Right.
So let's see. Coach Gerald Smith with defensive line. Coach Lamar Waters, who will be on the defensive side of the ball this year. Jacob Alvarez helps with the offensive line with Coach Dukes. Oh boy. See, put me on the spot.
Yeah, on the spot. Hey, I would never, no pun intended. Defensive back coach. Who's the defensive?
That's Wendell Shanks.
Wendell Shanks.
Linebackers
Yeah.
would be with Adrian
And Mosley.
We have a couple guys that are going to volunteer this year. Brandon Bass will help
Okay.
out as
Brandon.
well, and Van Easley will also.
Okay.
Gerald and Jackson Smith will also
Yes,
volunteer and
Jackson.
help with the quarterbacks as well. Man, I hope I'm
No,
not.
we didn't miss anybody. I don't think we missed anybody. Coach, I do want to ask you about one other addition, which I was glad to see. And I tell you, I've seen some games throughout our years, and I think you'll agree where, man, we're giving it, and then see me come into the fourth quarter, and for whatever reason, we run out of gas or strength or whatever. But we have a new strengthening coach and conditioning coach, don't we? And I believe that guy's name is Brian Griffiths.
Yes.
From the school down the road.
Yes.
And he's over here with us now, and I hear that's paying dividends already.
Already, the guys are working hard in the weight room, and Coach Shanks takes them outside and does speed work with Kenny and a few of the other coaches, and it's just these guys are working.
Right.
Yes, I can say the coaching staff is shaping them, doing whatever, but the credit goes to the kids. They're the ones that are getting there every morning, working out. They're the ones asking to leave, asking us to not make them leave. We've got guys that the other day I told them I was going to reward them with some days off next week and the week after, and they begged me not to. So,
wow.
that's the type of kids we have.
The brand, here it comes, I'm telling you.
Do y'all take some of that time and go ahead and look at some of the film that y'all have on some of the other teams already?
We're unfortunately at this time we don't have much film on the other teams, but some of the teams that we played last year, yes, we do watch some of the stuff that they did
to try to make corrections where something went wrong and so that doesn't happen again.
Yes,
I know one thing about Brian. He's a great motivator. Man, he is. He puts himself into those guys, and they're buying in. It's a buy-in, as you said. It's a buy-in. But like you said, it's the kids wanting to have that buy-in, and I believe right now everything is shaping up to have a great football season right now.
And he has someone that's been there most of the time helping him. Rich Covey has been in the weight room with him as well. So he's between the two, and I know Jacob Alvarez helps with them in the weight room too. That they've done a good job of motivating the kids and things like that. Let
me go over just a couple of quick comments. A guy that went to my high school back in 1988, Vincent Tucker. He's got his own show called Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona. He said, "Good evening, OTS brothers and Coach Tomlinson from Arizona. Big fan of yours," he said, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we talk about tornado football, and I tell you, it seems I've heard people say, "Well, man, I just feel like I'm part of the tornado family, and I'm not even."
Absolutely.
That's what we want.
Bring it on.
That's it. Ronnie Stanley's on, Reginald Leverson's on. I know a couple of his nephews are playing with you as well. Let's see, Jamie Clemens. Chris Davis. Okay.
I just want to say something, Coach. You take those players that want to stay there late and want to work extra hard and work by themselves. It's contagious. Other players will see that they're doing it and say, "Hey, I want to better myself, so I need to start doing the same thing that they're doing."
And they have been. It's funny you say that because we've had several guys. It started out one or two, and it's progressing every day.
Right. That's great.
Seems like they add one more to the group.
And I think they're getting the word out there. Hey, if we really want to make a run for a state championship, this is the type of work that we're going to have to do. This is what some of the other schools players are doing. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Mike, as we get ready to shut it down with Coach, you got another question for Coach real quick?
No, you answered every question like that. I absolutely appreciate you coming in, though. That was
I enjoyed being here.
I am totally stoked.
All right, a couple of quick things. In August, we have our Beef O'Brady show that we'll be doing, where we're going to bring in some football players, a couple of the coaches, talk tornado football. Of course, that's hosted by Chuck Kramer and WEAG, which is our radio station, Tornado radio station. Me and Kevin will be there, so we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to the season here. I'll go over it real quick. We don't have to break down everything, Coach. We can do that at a later time. Kickoff Classic, Santa Fe Raiders away. Then we've got, of course, those Baker County Wildcats, which I think we owe them one. They'll be coming here to our house in Game 1. Game 2, a team that we hadn't had on the schedule for a while, a team that you know very well. That's that team down the road. We're going to play them down the road.
Absolutely. We're glad to finally, talking with Coach Thomas and working things out and being able to get the game on the schedule. It should be fun. It should be a good atmosphere.
It should be. And Coach, don't give me 25 push-ups, but I'm going to say it's the Union County Tigers back on the schedule.
Absolutely.
So, then a team that we haven't played, I want to say, Coach, since 2012 or 2013, my memory, of course, I'm an old guy, my memory, Clay Blue Devils. They'll be coming here.
Yes. We were able to pick them up. It's kind of something that's been in the works for a couple of years now, but we're able to get them on the schedule and glad to have yet another. I mean, if you're looking at the schedule, top to bottom, it's a dogfight every week.
Every week. And all these teams that I've named, Coach, so far are playoff teams.
Yes.
Like what you were saying about
yes.
the schedule toughness. And then, of course, those tough University Christians will be coming here.
Yes.
And, we beat them, they beat us, so this could go either way. And the game that I just thought that their quarterback just beat us to death, he ain't there no more.
Nope.
But I tell you, I think the boys remember this, and that's the Swanee Bulldogs. But I want to say, Coach, in that game, we actually beat them in the second half. We actually outplayed them in the second half.
Yes. And that was probably, typical of a young team.
Sure.
Things got out of hand early, snowballed into what it was.
Yep.
Things didn't go our way, ball bounce didn't go our way, and so it got out of hand in a hurry. But they settled down at halftime, come back and played, and to see them fight in the second half like they did, that was impressive. I think we were all. I don't want to say pleased because no one's ever really pleased with a loss.
No,
but to know that they're not going to quit.
Yeah,
They
didn't quit on you or the staff or themselves.
Right.
We actually outscored them. Was it 20-8, Coach? I think, or 20-6. 27.
Yeah.
20-7 in that second half.
Yeah.
That was a great football game. I thought we were coming back there for a minute too.
Yeah, and Coach, I gotta say that I think if we had enough time, you would have beat them.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, we were.
And I'm fortunate to have a couple of friends that coach on that staff, and he said, several of them were saying after the game, man, that was a great game. We're not coming to y'all next year.
I bet you they had a couple over there saying, "Hurry up, time clock, hurry up."
Yeah, because we did outplay them the second half. I don't know much about ACA, Coach. Do you? What do you know about them?
They were actually a team that GHS played here on our field.
Okay.
2 years ago, the first year we've had the turf, because they were supposed to play at Citizens Field.
Right.
But because of rain, shocking rain.
But, shocking rain, right.
But they were able to move their kickoff classic here. They had a young man that was being recruited by Florida. They're not in a classification in the state of Florida, so they're really just. Honestly, from what I understand, they're more like a smaller IMG type team.
Okay.
I don't want to say they're that level.
No, right.
But
okay.
It's just a team that they were needing a game. They were willing to drive from Clearwater, and I said, "Let's do it."
Let's do it. All right. Then we got the Baldwin Indians. Of course, this is our couple of road trips. We got the Baldwin Indians. We beat them. They beat us. Seems like every time we go there, Coach. Go ahead and say it. It's some kind of rain or weather or something that makes that game a little bit closer, a little bit more interesting. We'll see what happens because that's in Game 7.
And when that usually happens, we have to listen to David on the radio through his telephone.
Yeah, I have to go to the telephone with that, Coach. So then a team, and we were trying to figure out the last time we played them. I don't know if y'all know. The Yulee Hornets. It's got to have been back in 2008,
it's been a while.
9, 10.
Yeah.
The Yulee Hornets, we got to go over there and play them. Old school of Derrick Henry, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll get to see Derrick
Glad
Henry's
he's not
picture. We would need all of us to try to tackle him, Coach, and I don't even know if we could do it. And then, Coach, this is the game that I thought our season turned around. You may disagree with me or not, but let me tell you something. We played Madison County over there about as tough as anybody can play them. Coach, was it sincere? Somebody's still picking up their helmet on that one hit that Hankerson, I think it was Hankerson, put on that kid.
And
He's still laying there.
He was sincere about it.
He was sincere about it. Laid that, and we knocked them in the mouth, Coach. and they got inside our 10-yard line 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and we denied them every time. And we had an 85-yard interception return from Mr. Balfour, who's a North Carolina Tar Heel right now, that got called back, or that game could have been a win either way.
Yeah, when you play a team of their caliber and much respect to them.
Absolutely.
They're in contention for a state title every year. And somewhere we were trying to get with this young team, and to see those guys not back down one bit. And that was just, we were, again, it was something, it would kind of, because we played Swanee the week before.
Sure.
And we kind of continue where we didn't get things going quite like we wanted to on offense, but the defense was just lights out.
Oh, my gosh.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think we fumbled to set up their first touchdown.
Yes, the first we did.
The
we
last
fumbled inside
touchdown.
our 20-yard line.
Right.
And I want to say, Coach, if I remember correctly, they went for it several times in our territory on 4th down.
Yes.
David, less than a yard. And our boys got up there and smacked them square in the mouth, and they'd lose 2 yards.
Yes.
My God, that's where me and Kevin said, hey, this team's for real. Then all of a sudden went on that winning streak, and the rest is history. Then we've got the Fort White Indians. We were supposed to play them last year, Coach. We didn't. We got them back on the schedule. What do you know about those guys?
Again, you say it with every team on the schedule, very well coached.
Right.
They're going to be tough. Everything I've ever done, playing against Fort White has been they're going to be tough. They're just going to hit you in the mouth and see what they, see how many times they can do it.
7 home games, 3 away games, Coach. Schedule sets up nice for us right here at Bradford, don't it?
It does. Come out.
Yeah, they come out and support.
Pack the stadium. So.
There's a couple of questions from Chris Davis. He says he loves it that the teams that you're bringing back these teams that are close in the area that we used to play, and it sort of makes that little rivalry with those teams.
Absolutely. That's what high school football's about.
Right.
And that's something we've tried doing ever since we've gotten here. So
right. He wanted to ask when the tornado cards are coming out.
I actually talked to Austin the other day. They are set to be here. He's supposed to send me the proof next week, and then he's supposed to bring them since the old car goes out July 31st, so they should be around that time toward the last week of July.
All right. Do you have any red seats available still? Do you have seats available where people can purchase the red seats? And how do you think about that?
Well,
that was another question.
Give me time on those. Yes, we have red seats available. They're not sold out yet. But just give me time on that because we haven't made it to that point yet.
Maybe
they'll definitely be. I'll get with you and you can broadcast on here,
or you can come up with whatever we want to do.
Either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will definitely. We're gonna do things a little bit different this year, but we're gonna definitely send out. We're gonna flood Facebook and everything else with advertisements on it. So yeah.
All right, and the last question. Let's have a little fun. What'd you do over the summer? Tell me. You went to a place that's on my bucket list. You and your beautiful wife, and it was just y'all two, right? The kids.
Yes. We watch college softball, and I can sit here.
I love college softball.
I will be honest with you. My wife has me hooked on it.
Yeah.
She can where I can sit there in the fall and watch 2 teams no one's ever heard of play football.
Right.
She can do the same with softball. Well, I've gotten that way as well. She called me at work one day and said, "Hey, tickets went on sale." I said, "If you can figure it out, let's do it." She did it. So we went. It was Saturday Elimination Day, and I can tell you, if you've never been, go. It was something. I promise you that it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. To be able to sit there and watch those young ladies play, and they Elimination Day. I don't know how it was day one, but Elimination Day was unreal because they were giving everything they had. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to be there for both sessions. We were able to watch Oklahoma beat Georgia,
right,
and then Florida State beat Arizona. Which was funny because we're sitting there to the 5th inning going, great. You know, we're Florida State fans, and they haven't scored a run in 12 innings.
And
And then they hit a 3-run homer to take the lead, and then a walk off at the end.
Right.
And and of course Oklahoma.
Kudos to those guys.
You hear it on the radio. I mean, on the TV where they say that it's a home game for Oklahoma, and you think, well, it's a College World Series. How can it be a home game? It is 100% a home game. I mean,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. They're playing Georgia. I was reading Boomer sooner. I thought I had to. It was just one of those things. It was crazy. I told my wife, I said, you know what? I'm not necessarily an Oklahoma fan, but I would love to go watch an Oklahoma football game because if they're that wild for a softball game,
right?
I want to see what they do in a football game.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was great. Unfortunately, rain and stuff like that. Storm coming through, and our early flight the next day, we didn't get to watch the second session when the Oklahoma and Florida State advanced to the winners finals and all that. But it was truly an experience that, before that was over, my wife and I looked at each other and said, yeah, we're doing this again next year.
She just said right here, experience of a lifetime. It was worth, it was very worthy, especially watching playing our Knowles, which where me and Byron are Knowles fans. These guys are not, but that's okay. Hey, they got to root for a team somehow.
Other teams need fans too.
Yeah, they do. Other teams need that. You're exactly right, Coach. But anyway, I'm glad to. One more question: have you ever been to a baseball college World Series?
I have never, but I can tell you,
I'd love to do that too.
I would, but man, it better bring a lunch because it's got to pack. It's got to match what softball did.
Wow.
It was, and for them, they added that second level, and truthfully, that's where our seats were.
Right.
But you would never know. I mean, all the action's right there, man. It's anything, whatever you see on TV, it's 100 times better.
Wow. Well, Coach, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the great interview. We're going to have you back on. Of course, we're going to be together on August 13th. Don't forget to grab you a piece of this Miss Shirley's cake right here.
I've been eyeballing it the whole time.
I know you have. I bet your wife has been eyeballing it. You probably say, hey, Coach, bring me a piece of that cake home. Of course, bring her a piece of cake home. But anyway, grab you a piece of cake, Mike. See if you can get that to him. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Brian Thomas, thank you very much, Coach, for coming on. Hopefully you can come back on.
I have to say this because I did just peek down and see that she said this. But the food.
Oh, yes, I've seen that too.
One of the best steaks I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yes, sir. Cattleman's.
Okay,
oh, man.
Yes, sir.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you. Yeah, we are. So again, Coach Brian Thomason, thank you for coming on.
Yes,
our next guest,
you.
Mr. Brody Gunner, will be coming on. So we'll be right back with our next guest right after this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Spot with David Rodgers, right alongside Mr. Mitchell Gunner, Mr. Michael Heater, our director and our weather guru tonight. Glad to have Mr. Dave Holland back in the seat after a hiatus. Had to take care of some personal things. Glad, Dave, that everything went as good as could be expected, and glad to have you back in the seat. Will you say hello to the fans, David, just to let them know you're here?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for everything. Guys, I appreciate hearing from you during the week time that I was gone, but I'm glad to be back home.
David, that's what a brotherhood is all about. We are brothers before anything. And I tell you what, I can call Michael, I'm broke down over here. Michael will get up out of his seat, whatever he's doing, and come get me. You do the same thing. Yeah. We are a brotherhood. That's what this is all about. But right now, speaking of brotherhoods, we've got our special guest right here to my left. This young man right here could probably outdrive all of us in this room right here. We've had him on before. Mr. Brody Gunner, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you back, man. I'll tell you what, What have you been up to lately? Just give us a little background. What you been up to lately?
Well, since the last time I've been here,
Yes,
I
sir.
sadly retired from quarter midgets, but I've moved on to something new called Legends.
Legends.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They are like they're a third the size of a the 1934 coupes and sedans,
Right.
and they go up to like 110 miles an hour.
110.
Yes, sir. They race on quarter miles to half mile racetracks, and they
And
go
how old are you again?
14.
And you're driving 110 miles an hour?
Yes, sir.
Sounds like
Good grief. Sounds like fun, man. Why couldn't I do that when I was a kid, Mitchell? Anyway, hey, is this your uncle right here?
Yes, sir.
Is it? You claim him? You do? Okay. Mitchell, what you got for Mr. Brody?
Well, Brody, we want to welcome you back, but we would like you to tell us what you've been doing here lately.
He just said.
No, I'm talking about where have you, been racing?
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Well, so far in the last 6 months, I've raced at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the famous NASCAR track.
Really?
Yes, I've also raced in tracks in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. So far.
That one in Florida, that's in Auburndale?
Yes, Auburndale Speedway.
Okay.
Wow. Dadgum. I tell you what, hey, this young man, we've seen him grow, and I wanted him to continue to keep coming on the show because I want to see his growth.
Right.
I personally, Brody, I know we're stepping a little ahead of the game here, but I personally see you here within the next few years. I think somebody's going to be calling you up for a NASCAR job.
That's the dream.
Is that the dream? Is that the goal there?
Well, the goal is to go as far as I can with my talent,
Right.
but the dream would be to get in NASCAR if I can.
Yeah, I don't see a problem where you can't get there. I mean,
Well, and you've actually been brushing up on your skills as well. You just got finished going down to Sebring. You want to tell us a little bit about that experience down there?
Yes, sir. I did a driving school at Sebring
okay,
National Raceway for road course racing.
okay,
I raced on these things called GR11s. They're open seat cars. They have no roof, no barely any doors.
wow,
They're open wheel cars, kind of like an F1, if you know what that is.
Yep, mhm.
Minus the wings on the front and the back.
Right.
We went 120 down the back stretch on a 2-mile track.
in an open car like that?
Yes, sir.
Good grief!
Gotta watch those bugs.
Yeah, gotta watch something there.
It is one
That's
thing.
gotta freak your dad out.
Yeah, that's gotta. I know your dad's one of your biggest fans, and of course your biggest supporters, along with your mom and your family.
Yes,
I was hoping they could be here tonight, but I guess scheduling got a little bit in the way, and the weather and the rain. I don't blame them for that. I guess you sort of asked that question, didn't you, Mitchell? Can you tell us the difference in drive the Legend compared to the quarter midgets?
Well,
What you're driving now?
Well, for starters, it obviously is bigger and faster. A
Sure.
quarter midget goes 40. The Legend goes 110.
Okay.
A quarter midget races on a 1/20th mile racetrack. A Legend races on the quarter to the half-mile track. And also in quarter midgets, I raced kids from 6 to 12, I think it was.
Right.
In Legends, I raced kids from 12 now to 50s.
Really?
Yes, sir. In some
So
races- in some
you're
races-
racing adult men my age,
Yes, sir.
and you're whooping them.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, let's just go ahead and call it. Let's just call it what it is. Wow. I tell
Can you tell us, a little bit about the characteristics of the car as far as handling? How, if it's very difficult to drive or it's real easy to drive?
It's a lot harder with the steering wheel, the power, and also I'm now racing a manual, so I got to shift up and down. It's not like an automatic with normal people's car.
Wow.
Well, in that, while you're racing, you're going against guys the age of, say, David?
Mm-hmm.
Some races, yes. Some races they'll put me in classes with kids my age from 12 to 16.
I'm just
Other-
thinking of the weight factor between you
Good
and
question.
other drivers.
Yeah, okay.
There is a weight limit. We have to have the car at a certain weight. We can't go too low. We can't obviously if you go too high, you'll be slower.
I gotcha. That's a great.
Please.
Michael, you got a question for Brody?
Yeah, I'm curious because, and with all due respect, okay, I'm old school, so I like to compare the generations as we move on, and for a while there was some talk about a certain young man whose father was Mark Martin, and he's about the same age as you, I believe, like that. So my question is that have you had any experiences in drivers that are your age or in comparable in the arena? And are you looking at the possibility of interacting with drivers and that would get you further in the NASCAR circuit? In other words, do you have any connections with, say, the Martins or anybody like that one, or any kids that your age that you've driven with that would allow you to kind of network into other opportunities?
That's a great question.
Well, so far in quarter midgets, I raced against a kid named Daniel Dye. He right now is an ARCA driver. He races for GMS.
Mm-hmm.
He's so far he hasn't won yet, but he's been doing really well, I'd say.
Good.
So far.
Good. So that networking that Michael said, it can come into play. I know. When Mitchell races and he tells us, for some reason, like football and other than football and baseball, it seems like there's a lot of networking there, where you're not afraid to share information. I know you don't want to give it all away, but if you're having problems with your car, I mean, and your dad, can't fix it, or whoever your mechanics are can't fix it, you could go to other drivers, and they don't mind helping you get your car ready or whatever, because they want to see you race. They want to race against the best, right? I would want to. So is that right? Is there a lot of networking that goes into there? Maybe not in that class. I see you smile a little bit, but I know Mitchell tells me that there's some networking in that.
It kind of is, I'd say.
It's changing. I mean, the dynamics are changing.
It's getting, as you can see, I'd say it gets more and more like NASCAR. Not completely, but there's now teams.
Right.
A lot of things like NASCAR.
Right. As for like us out there, we're individuals, and we're friends all the way up to the point that we go put our cars in the beans, and then it's lights out. Hey, I'm going to load this guy up and send him to the house. We're no longer friends after those lights, those pre-stage and stage lights comes on. But afterwards, I mean, I've had a friend, Daniel Salyers, was having a problem with his car, or something with the starter, and me and two other racers, we jump in there and we help him out because, hey, he's a good racer, and we want him to do good because we want to race against good people to make us better. And that's just the type of atmosphere that we have out there, and it's somewhat like that.
I would agree. I would say.
And Brody's in that racing criteria that he does. Yes.
Again, Brody Gunner on with us here, ladies and gentlemen. This is your third time, right?
I think so.
Third time being on with us. Of course, you're the nephew of Mitchell Gunner, our co-host here each and every Tuesday night with me, and when he can make it, when he's not racing. Yeah, when he's not racing. But anyway, can I ask you, what has been the biggest challenge racing in the Legend class? You sort of went over a little bit, but can you tell everybody again, what's the biggest challenge?
Just the difference in everything. I mean, speeds, tracks, new people I'm racing against. Obviously, the shifting's been a big challenge, and braking. Because in the quarter midget, I never let off. Now in this, I'm using the brake, I'm letting off, and I'm roll back on the gas a lot more.
That was Mitchell, and help me explain here. That's a pretty nice size jump in it from what you were doing to what you're doing now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that seemed like a big gap, Dad, right there. I mean, how did you go from 40 miles an hour to adjusting to 110, 120 miles an hour?
It was a heck of a challenge the first time. I think I got in the car, I was like, I am really doing this. Like, it's a big jump.
Well, and I think what helps Brody out a lot, and a lot of other kids that's going from the quarter midgets to the legends and seeking other venues to race on ovals, is that the tracks are smaller for the quarter midgets.
Right.
So even though they're going 40 miles an hour, it is a shorter track, and it's tighter. And you're lower to the ground. So even though you're doing 40, 45 miles an hour, it actually feels to that kid in the car that they're actually doing about 80. Double that.
So the picture that Dave's got up there, this is sort of the car that you're sort of in right now?
No,
that's the car I did for the racing school. So
that's for the racing. Okay.
GR11.
All
that's
right.
the car I'm racing.
This is the car you're racing right here.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that looks those look sharp right there. Bigger tires, everything like I said, more power, more speed.
Yes, sir.
Bigger tracks.
Yes.
So, Dave, did you have a question for Mr. Brody?
Well, I was going to ask if he can explain the difference between what he was doing and what he's doing now. Are you driving the same car? Did you modify the car you had? Or did you go out and buy you another one?
I bought basically a new car. We sold our quarter midgets except for one because we had to keep that one. A lot of memories in it.
Absolutely.
And we bought this new car right here. Yes.
Really good deal. All right.
Can you tell us a little bit about the engines that y'all run? I know that you were running like an air cool. Can you tell us, the reasons why you changed from the air cool to the type of motor that you have in there now?
Well, I'm currently racing a water cooled. I did race an air cooled, like you said. It's more cheap on the long run because it lasts longer. I also feel like it does have less power, but it will save more money in the future.
Right.
Which we need to.
Did you have a problem with the other one, the air cool one? As the more that you raced, it would get hot and you would actually lose a little bit of power. When you get closer to the end, last 5 or 6 laps, your lap times starting to fall off a little bit more than what your lap times fall off with the new motor?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know if we could really feel it, but I think possibly that could be one thing, especially on really hot days when it's really hot out.
I've got a question for you, Brody. What track do you enjoy racing at the most? Is there a certain track that you?
I mean, there's a lot of ones I've liked so far. I think maybe my favorite would be Anderson Speedway in South Carolina. I think it was.
Okay, Anderson. Okay, yeah. All right.
Now, some of those tracks that y'all run half miles on, they use those tracks also for other type of events for different other class cars, correct?
Yes, sir.
Especially like Anderson, and if you go to Hickory and race there. I wanted to ask that. Also, you've had the opportunity to also jump in Jason Garver's car as well to get a little experience on the dirt tracks. And could you tell us a little bit how that went, and how do you like being able to slide that rear end around in the turns?
Well, it definitely is something I had to get used to because obviously in asphalt, that's not what you don't want to do is get the rear end sliding out. So it's something I have to train myself to do is to let it do that. I think that's one challenge I've seen so far in that. But it's been a lot of fun racing day.
Just to let you know, Nicole's watching. You want to say hello to Nicole?
Oh, hello.
Shirley Bagwell, Byron, she's our co-host here, Byron Bagwell. His mom said, first of all, welcome back to you, Dave. She said you've been in her thoughts and her prayers, and she hopes everything's okay.
God bless you too, Shirley.
Let's see. Randy Scoggins is on. Stephanie Clark Merrill's on. Shirley said, Brody, your grandfather Jerry would be so proud of you.
He would be. I think he would be. Even though he didn't want me to get in racing,
And John Garner from my home state of Mississippi is watching. Says, hello, Brody. And Miss Lisa Alvarez Rogers is watching as well. So got a lot of people watching. So let's see. Can you tell our viewers what team you race for? Also, where is the team based out of?
Right now I'm currently racing for Kyle Beatty Racing. They are in North Carolina, just a couple minutes out of Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Okay.
They work on bandos and legends.
Okay, good job. Okay, all right.
Their team owner Kyle Beatty, he's raced in ARCA, I think he said a few
Okay,
times.
yeah, okay. Well, nice.
So I mean, and that's good to have that feedback from someone who's raced legends and has went up in the ARCA series as well and raced. That's a lot of experience there that he can pass down to his younger drivers. How many drivers? Before we get to this next question, how many drivers is currently racing with y'all's group, with y'all's team?
I don't really know. The most I've seen at the track at one time is 14 cars for our team. Wow. I don't know how many total, but that's the most I've seen racing in one day.
Right. And those all sometimes race all different types of classes and legends and not all together at one time. Brody, we all know that racing costs a lot of money. Are you looking for marketing partners at this time?
Yes, sir. We're always looking for like donations and marketing partners to help us since racing is very expensive and costs a lot of money, obviously.
Right.
Which if anyone wants to help me like donate or be a marketing partner with us, you can go to my Facebook page, Brody Gunner Racing.
Brody Gunner Racing?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay.
Real easy to find.
Yes.
So.
All right. I heard you have something special going on. where people can purchase a spot to have their name placed on your car, which, by the way, on the spot, if you don't mind, we would like to purchase a spot or two on your car, on the spot with David Rodgers Show. We're going to make up a nice logo. Mr. Heater does a great job in doing that. We're going to do that, and we're going to pay the cost, whatever that is, for us to be able to put on the spot with David Rodgers on there.
Well, thank you. Right now, yes, we are giving spots away for the Charlotte Summer Shootout Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Okay.
It's $25 per spot, and it's currently being televised by NBC Track Pass and Legends TV.
All right. So if I wanted to, how many can I buy? Can I buy? Could you put on the spot in a couple of different spots? If I want to buy 3 or 4 spots, can I do that? Or are you waiting for some others?
We want the hood.
We actually want the. What would the hood cost me, Brody?
I don't know.
We're gonna need to work on that.
I think you have to talk about us about that. I don't know.
Okay.
We want this. That's what we want.
Well,
Yeah, we want that.
The
We,
thing is, David, it's going to be more than $25.
yeah, well, we know it's going to be more than $25. I got you.
Probably a little more, yeah.
In the same realm, and I know it's probably you were probably going to ask him about this, but if you two gentlemen can stand up, where can I purchase one of these shirts? I actually got one, and one of those beautiful hats. Yeah, you want to? We can put it a little
you
closer.
can walk on up there.
Yeah,
to
walk
the
on up
camera
there.
a
You
little
give
bit.
it to Michael to do it. There you go.
Oh yeah, number 1.
There we go. This is a good-looking shirt, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brody Gunner. Hey, racing legend right now, as I like to call him. Where can we get one of these shirts right here? And I hear there's some good-looking hats too, right?
Oh, yes.
So I know I'm going to buy one. I've already talked to Mitchell. I'm sure my guys are going to buy one. Maybe we can all wear it on the show one day. How can we purchase those?
Well, conveniently, I think it's the same place as the Brody Gunner Racing
Right.
Facebook page.
Okay.
They are $25 each, post shirt and hat. We are currently getting the hats made right now.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that. It looks really good, but that shirt looks outstanding.
Yes, sir.
So, do you have it set up, Dad, where it's PayPal or how can they pay for it?
You can talk to the real true boss, which is Mom. So,
Which is Mom?
and she'll help you out with
Yeah.
the financing and everything through the Brody Gunner Racing.
Right.
I got you. Is your mom named Ashley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I got an actual, she's watching the show, so I actually got something here. She said, as many as you want to buy, David. So, well, we definitely want to be a part of that. We just want, we don't want to take up everybody's spot, but we would like to have a spot. Since you've been our guest 3 times, we follow you. We always talk about you. I know you don't get a chance to see the show all the time, but we really follow you.
It helps you, and it helps us at the same
It
time
does,
to get
it
our
does,
name out there, so we can get more people to watch our show from different locations. I mean, we've had people watch our show from across the pond over in Europe, several times.
Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, we have a
Saudi
couple
Arabia.
of years and stuff.
And
So,
so we want to use opportunities like that to help promote us and help you out at the same time. And that's what being a marketing partner does. You try to help the person, but at the same time, that person who races that car helps that company to sell product or promote themselves.
That's exactly right. Let's see. Dave, do you have a last question for Brody as we get ready to wrap up the show? Do you have anything else you'd like to say to the young man?
Have you ever drove on that track in Keystone?
Out to the firm. Oh, good.
The firm, great question.
Good
The firm.
question.
Not
Yeah.
yet, but they are having a race there with the Legends. And if my team wants to do it, they will come down here and I'll race it possibly.
Right.
Excellent.
And that's going to be
Excellent.
around Labor
Great
Day
question,
weekend,
David.
correct? So Labor Day weekend, that'll be the weekend that they are going to try to put that race on.
That'd be great.
We'll all have the opportunity to go out there
Absolutely
and
will.
watch.
I would like
And
that.
and hopefully, we work this thing out with our logo being on his hood. It'll be on his hood there at the firm. I can't wait because I don't have the opportunity to go watch him because he's always racing in Tennessee or North Carolina or South Carolina.
And you're
So-
racing on Saturday too.
and
You got your
race
racing
on,
as well.
on Saturday as well, which we're hoping that we get to race this Saturday. Doesn't look like it, not with Mother Nature. Mother Nature's probably going to win, but I don't get that opportunity to go watch him that much. Every once in a while, I can catch some glimpse of him racing at some of the tracks on Facebook. Other people's there as well, watching their kids, and then they will post videos. So I'm able to keep up with Brody and how he's doing.
And by the way,
real
Mitchell,
easy to find his car. All you got to do is look for that number.
Yeah, for that number.
And
Yeah,
because
that number.
It shines.
And by the way, Mitchell's really good about sharing video. Like I said, we may be doing a regular Tuesday show, and if we see that y'all are racing on a Tuesday or a Monday, we talk about it right away. So we're really interested in what you're doing. I see some bigger and better things coming up for you, as Michael Heater and Dave and everybody has said. Michael, do you have a final question for Brody or any kind of?
Well, not so much a question, just yeah. I think we're on the precipice of seeing something really spectacular.
I am too.
I've been watching you. I get an earful constantly from your uncle. You know, we joke that your biggest fan is your father. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm very enthusiastic about what the future holds. Your performance. It's one thing to go out and race and to do well. It's another thing to go out there and do well consistently.
Yes, sir.
You trend towards excellence, and I'm excited about what is going to happen in the future as you move on and upward in the racing leagues.
Thank you.
I've just got two quick things. Can you tell everybody how many top 10s and top 5s that you have
Great
already?
question.
Well, so far I've gotten 7 top 10s and 1 top 5 so far.
So
those are all in races that basically regional races and national races.
Wow.
And this was and how many races total have you scored these? I mean, out of how many races have you scored top 10 and top 5? I mean, it's.
I'm not sure. I just know I've been racing for 6 months.
Probably several, right, Dad?
I think at 12 different tracks so far.
Okay, so I mean, and again, that reinforces what I'm saying. You're consistent, and you're maintaining and exceeding expectation in the short amount of time you've been in this classification, which I think is a precursor of what's to come.
right.
Thank you.
When is your next race that's going to happen?
We're trying to figure out yet, but I think it's either going to be next Tuesday or next Friday.
Okay.
Saturday, I mean.
And is that back at Charlotte, or you're going to be in Tennessee?
If it's next Tuesday, we'll be back at Charlotte. If it's next Friday, we'll be back at Tri-County, North Carolina.
Okay, Tri-County. Okay.
I know we usually bring you on, and it's usually straight to wrestling. No, that was my bad. Racing. So I got a question for you. Some people may not know you personally. I know you're 14 years old. I know you love to race. What grade are you in? What do you go to school, and what grade are you in, and where do you go to school, or do you homeschool? Can you tell the audience?
Well, I do virtual school, which is basically just school on like a computer. I have teachers from across the state that teach me. I'm currently finishing up just 8th grade history. I'm going into high school this year.
All right.
Very
wow.
cool.
Well, that's very cool. What do you like to do for fun besides racing? I know racing's fun and everything. Do you like to bowl, or do you like to play softball, or do you like to play tennis? Do you like to read, study? What do you like to do for fun?
I used to do martial arts, but that was like a year or two ago, and that was basically it. When I get home, I get on a racing simulator, and that's all I do.
Is that all you do?
all I do.
So that's your fun, racing simulator?
Yes.
Do you like to watch like old races, like NASCAR races and things like that? Do you go back and do some of that? Like watch some of the old races, like old Dale Earnhardt or
Fireball Roberts.
Right. Or, yeah, there you go. Or how about Ricky Bobby? Yeah, exactly right. No, you've been a great guest. Just a couple of comments. Your mother says y'all have Venmo, by the way, if you want to purchase that. They got Cash App as well. Have you ever eaten at Slice and Dice Barbecue in Lottie? Have y'all ever eaten there? Buddy of ours, who's one of our sponsors in a way, Chris Davis, he owns Slice and Dice Barbecue over in Lottie, Florida. He chimed in and he says he would love to get his spot on the car as well. Yes. And y'all are more than welcome to sell your merchandise in his establishment.
Yeah, and we were there for lunch today, and
did you have that, the special, the wagon wheel?
No, today was the burger.
Okay.
I had to do the burger.
Because he was selling that wagon wheel.
The
Yeah.
wagon wheel's good too.
Some of the best barbecue, Dad, that you'd ever want to eat, man, is right there. So y'all have to go over there.
Tomorrow.
There you go. Know where to eat at tomorrow, right there. So
Definitely.
be there for lunch.
Definitely.
Your mom also said PayPal as well. So Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Christopher Davis, she said, awesome. Thank you. You can contact her. They would love to hang some shirts over there. So maybe when y'all go eat, y'all can talk to him about that and maybe hanging some shirts in his establishment.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds great. If I buy 4 spots, will that just allow me to have a bigger logo in one spot? Chris Davis, we come in there first on that now. We were talking about the hood already. So
Maybe Chris wants the roof.
maybe he does. Or maybe Chris wants to go half and half. On the spot, slice and dice.
Maybe.
So we'd be on the dice. Okay, maybe not.
Maybe not. That's good.
That's pretty catchy. That's pretty catchy, though.
David Versace is trying to open up a company where he's trying to sell some shirts as well. He's big into diving. He wanted to know, I guess he'd have to ask your mother this. He said, how much would it, it's $25, David. I don't know. We were just kidding about the hood. I think he's going to have many sponsors. So I don't know how much it would cost to put that logo on the hood or the roof or whatever. But it's $25 a spot, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
For your name.
For your name.
As well as $25 per shirt and.
But hey, the option's there. Contact them, find out, and work a deal. Your company's logo can be on the card.
Yeah, there you go. Lydia Morris is on. Your mom's going to have a mess load of contacts here asking about this. I see it right here. Byron says, our co-host says, Brody, I wish you all the best. I would love to see you on Sundays. I need a new NASCAR driver to follow. So do I. I haven't really followed one since Darrell. He's big Darrell Walker fan. So we would love to follow you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming.
You know what Darrell Waltrip's famous for, don't you?
Huh?
You know what he's famous for, don't you?
Who, Darrell?
Yeah, Darrell Waltrip.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I definitely do.
The dance. And
The dance.
Spiking it up.
David Sadia. Yes, I'll get with it. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about that logo. Oh yeah. So anyway, that was all of it tonight, man. Anything you want to say to our fans before we go? How they can follow you or anything to that effect?
Well, just again, if you want to for any information about how to contact or get the spot or buy shirts or hats, it's Brody Gunner Racing on Facebook.
There you go.
And
I love
you
that.
can be
I love
followed not just on Facebook, but you can be followed on Twitter and
Snapchat,
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, you go.
Mostly Facebook.
Stick with Facebook.
Yeah, stick with Facebook. All right, Brody, thank you for coming on. Hopefully we get the chance to talk to you maybe before the summer's over. And as Dave asked that question, hopefully you can race over here at Keystone. Maybe we could come watch you personally. We would love to do that.
Hey, guess what? You can actually race this weekend. You could come out there to Gainesville Raceway and you can run in the junior race, climb in the truck with Dad. Dad will have to ride with you. Go out there and try to win.
Well, I just
win
seen
something.
Hang on a minute. I just seen Dad hold up a sign going, no. No, that's not happening.
If that truck even can do that.
You actually cannot run. There's only a certain ET that you can run.
Right.
Yep.
It's
So
doing ET.
your lapse time. Your lapse time.
Last time. So, all right. Well, guys, it's been a great show so far. Hang in with us, Brody, here. Hey, you want to hear about the weather, don't you? We're going to have our weather guru, Michael Heater, tell us about the weather. I know you've heard it before, but let's hear him say rain again.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to know if I want to be able to race tomorrow or not.
We're going to turn it over to Michael Heater for the weather.
All right.
Geez, how you following that, Mike? Hey, really great show tonight, gentlemen. Thanks for a great program. Stay tuned, folks, because we got final comments on the weather right after this.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
All right. Hey, thanks, Dave. Real quick recap on the weather forecast. Now, Mitchell, I'll go ahead and let you know that we're looking at afternoon storms tomorrow on Saturday afternoon. So, depending on what time you're supposed to be on the track,
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
Forget it.
Forget about it, dude. No. Not happening. Tomorrow, we're looking at another round of thunderstorms moving in. East Coast sea breeze will be pushing in the storms, bubbling up. Popcorn thunderstorms developing anytime after about 1:30 or 2. Sorry, dude. I'm afraid it's going to be a washout at the Gainesville Raceway. We're looking at another round of storms. Sunday's looking better. A little bit of dry air moving in as the frontal boundary starts to lift up. But unfortunately, Monday, the humidity sinks back in. Afternoon thunderstorms will be erupting one more time. Real quick update here. The flood warning area that you can see on the map, we've had 9 inches of rain in Bradford County since June the 1st. We had 1 inch of rain today at the EOC. We had 2 inches of rain a couple of days ago. It has been nonstop for us. The ground is very saturated. We spoke briefly about trees falling over with wind. If you do get an isolated thunderstorm, don't be surprised. We could see some trees falling down. And again, a lot of heavy rain has resulted in ponding on the roads and flooding of various roadways. Turn around. Don't drown. Avoid driving through roads of unknown depth. Just find yourself an alternate route. We're trying to keep up with the road closures and everything as we go along with that one. Local forecast, pretty straightforward. It's going to rain. Again, Sunday, your best bet. The best day of the weekend, if you're going to get out and about, do it Sunday morning, mid-afternoon. Hopefully, the storms will keep off and keep you at bay. Look for high temperatures in the upper 80s, lows dropping off into the lower 70s. And again, rain comes back into the forecast on guard on Monday afternoon. Tonight's Final Thoughts with David Rodgers brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in beautiful Stark, Florida. Fun Point is an all-in-one arcade and restaurant that is bound to raise your spirits, are sure to please your taste buds, and the games will keep you entertained for hours. Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in Stark. Feel free to give them a call at 904-966-3380. Make a point to visit Fun Point.
Yes, I was trying to see if we can change the race from Saturday to Sunday so we can get it in.
What
If you can, just give me a call back and let me know if you can make that arrangement happen. Thank you. Bye.
What? Right in the middle of a show, me and Brody was like, look, what in the heck is going on here?
Hey, ask him. Racing's life, man. Racing's life.
But he just called the track manager up, Brody, and asked him if he could move a race. When does a race car driver have that kind of authority? Mitchell must have some pull.
I might do the same thing.
Do the same thing.
I would do the same thing.
Oh, boy, here we go. Show's off the rails. Hey, guys, a really great show tonight. We had Coach Brian Tomlinson on talking about the Bradford Tornadoes. Hopefully, we're looking for a great season out of those guys as we continue on this playoff march. What'd you say? Possibly a state championship. Right. And, of course, this young man right here, one of the nicest young men that I know. You know, Mitchell, we talk and we read about these different stories, these different 14, 15, 16-year-old kids getting into trouble and just having a troubled past.
Well, we see it in the news tonight. The 14-year-old behind the wheel of a car, and with someone who was shooting at a shooting toward people at a party. I mean, kids shouldn't be doing that stuff at that age. They should be enjoying themselves and being a kid or
this young man, learning something. Your nephew right here is doing that. Hey, you know where that starts? That starts from great parents.
That's right.
That starts from great parenting, great family, togetherness, and keeping your kid. And of course, Brody's got to want to do that as well. You know what I mean? So it starts there. And I just want to commend you for what you're doing, Brody. I really think, man, I hope I'm around, and maybe Dave and all of us are around to see you in that NASCAR, man. Just do me a favor. Will you remember to get me some pit, so I can be right there with you? Can you get me like some pit passes, and when you get to the NASCAR deal, so we can be up there, my old self smiling and everything?
I'll try.
Could you do that for us?
Yes,
Uncle David.
Uncle David. Yeah, just say Uncle David's coming in, right along with Uncle Dave and Uncle Mike and Uncle. You got so many uncles, you won't even know what to do with.
He gets that high up in
Uncle Byron
and making great money. He could just fly us to the track in his own private plane.
Well, that would even be better.
We could be a pit crew.
Well, we could be the pit crew. Could you see our old tails out there changing tires?
we'll be.
yeah.
I hate to say it, but we're going to be way too slow.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, man. Them guys hustle and bustle.
I prefer to be a supervisory role if that's okay with you.
If that's super right, okay.
I just want to feel young. And
Hey,
Yeah, just want to feel young and try it.
you might be able to refuel the car.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks again for our guests, and be sure to join us again for a great show next Tuesday night with the latest news, the weather, and much more. Remember, we're on the spot so you can be too. Good night, everybody. Also want to remind you really quick, keep everybody in your prayers and thoughts down in Miami.
Yes.
Hopefully we find a lot more survivors and everything goes well there. And don't forget, hey, the extra $300 that everybody was getting, they're getting it no more. Go back and go to work.
Hey, and don't forget, turn on your lights when you're driving in the rain.
Yes.
People cannot see you.
Yeah, exactly right. Safety first. On behalf of Dave Holland, Michael Heater, Mitchell Gunner, myself, the missing Byron Bagwell, the sitting in for Mr. Bagwell, Brody Gunner, and Coach Brian Tomlinson. God bless you guys. Thank you. Have a great night. See you Tuesday. Goodbye.